So this is another build that already currently exists and can already do things to a certain degree. But with the changes that they're bringing to the kit, I think it's just going to be so much more viable. And I think people are really, really going to sleep on this. So keep your eyes out for the Fist of Heaven's Holy Bolt Paladin. The build itself is maxing out Holy Bolt, Blessed Hammer, Fist of Heavens, as well as maxing out Holy Shock for the synergy, and then getting up to minus 150 max resistance reduction with Conviction Aura. Everything else is a 1-point wonder. You're going to be able to pick up Vigor, have Salvation Aura, you're going to have Fanaticism for your Mercenary, 1 point into Holy Shield, and putting your dump points into Resist Fire just to bump up your max fire res. The kit itself is going to be a Hand of Blessed Light, which will either have a facet in it if you are maximizing Fist of Heavens, or is going to have an Istrune in it if you're going the Holy Bolt route. Griffins on both builds, Enigma on both builds, a 220 amulet on both builds, but if you wanted to swap out your Enigma for something else, you can obviously put teleport charges onto the amulet, which I'm just highlighting here. Herald of Zachrum, here you're either going to be using an when you're on Fist of Heavens, or an Ist when you are on Holy Bolt, since you can run Salvation Aura for free on Holy Bolt. 4 Traps for Magic Find, 2 Stone of Jordans with an Arachnid's Mesh, as well as Mage Fist. Everything down here is your combat skills, as well as life, all res, and magic find, and then your torch. Mercenary is going to be using an insight on the Fist of Heavens because you are running max level conviction. You don't need infinity on your build, as well as fortitude and Indariel's Visage. Or if you go over to the Holy Bolt version of this, which I think is kind of spicy, your mercenary is actually going to be using a Tomb Reaver, and we'll get a little bit more into it. But what you need to know about Tomb Reaver is that it has massive physical damage, has the 3 sockets, and it has additional damage and attack rating against Undead, as well as huge magic find. Looking at the Fist of Heavens build, like I said, it's basically the exact same thing, except we're running Ist runes everywhere, and then the same charm setup. So this is kind of a twofer, because this build gets to do something that other builds don't do. The biggest change here is that Holy Bolt is going to pierce now. So if you've played PD2 before, you know that Holy Bolt piercing is what really made that build shine, except that in PD2 it deals damage to every target. Here, it's still only dealing damage to Undead, but again, with the addition of more level 85 areas that we haven't seen yet, as well as some underfarmed areas already in the game, having an 18,000 damage piercing magic attack that will absolutely obliterate Undead makes the Paladin one of the best farmers, obviously in the Mausoleum and Crypt, as well as something that I don't think people realize is in Chaos Sanctuary. 2/3 of all targets in the Chaos Sanctuary are Undead. And then everything else that you would need to kill, you can elite snipe with Fist of Heavens. Since you're running max conviction, nothing in Chaos Sanctuary is going to be immune to your lightning. And all you need to do is pop the last seal. So all you need to do is kill Infector. And then after that, you're going to be able to single target burst down Diablo, as well as having incredibly strong mercenary to deal damage against him. There are a lot of places in the game that have the vast majority of their monsters are undead. Ancient Tunnels comes to mind, Talrash's Tomb comes to mind, Stony Tomb comes to mind, and then anything else in those areas can either be dealt with by your mercenary, as well as just getting popped down with Fist of Heaven. And just to give you the idea, targeting something like the Grand Vizier in the Chaos Sanctuary, we're pumping out 42,000 damage per second and killing them in 0.2 seconds with Holy Bolt, or looking at Fist of Heavens, killing them in 1.4 seconds. And this is on Players 1. Players 8 difficulty, you are killing Grand Vizier in 0.9 seconds with Holy Bolt, and you're killing him in 6 seconds with Fist of Heavens, which is also going to be shooting bolts out at all of his minions and killing all of them in the meantime. And this is on the Holy Bolt version of the build. If we look at Fist of Heavens, maxing out damage, you are killing Grand Vizier Players 8 in 0.6 seconds and 0.1 seconds on the Holy Bolt. Your damage output is kind of nutso on this build, and that's without seeing any of the changes that are coming to the build with the new patch. I honestly think that Fist of Heavens is kind of slept on. It's definitely a bit janky right now, and it's only going to get better. But the kit gets to run one of the most powerful items that says plus to skills in the game across the board, and also able to stack a lot of magic find, especially on the Holy Bolt version. If you are somebody who is bored with just running Blessed Hammer, or just running a Zealer or Smiter, I think Fist of Heavens is really going to be something that is willing to try out. And especially in the earlier game, where something like a hobble costs nothing, nobody cares about this item. And even without something like a Griffin's, you can just run the pure Holy Bolt package and then farm those underrepresented, like mostly undead areas, and just reap the rewards of being able to cruise through there with massive damage on your kit.